Thank you. I would like to welcome you all to the Voice of Reason. I am your presenter, the one and only Angelique. As you all know, our show is about inspiring and motivating not only the youth, but also the older generation. Today on the platform, the Voice of Reason has the opportunity, I would say the grace of God, to receive one of the members of the Voice of Splendor. He goes by the name of Mr. Clever. I would say in English, Mr. Clever. Clever?
Right.
Welcome, how are you?
Thank you very much, I'm alright.
Thank you very much for coming in. And we've been seeing your work, we've been seeing you doing your music and everything. But as you can see on the platform, there's many watching you right now, they don't know who you are. Could you give us a little bit of introduction?
Yeah, basically, my name is Clever, but obviously most of the people know me as Mario. I go to the Tabernacle of David, so I worship there. I'm a youth leader, I'm a gospel artist, and I'm also a choir leader.
Wow, so you're a lot. I can see you do a lot.
Yeah, I do a lot of things, yeah.
Tell us a little bit of your background so that we may understand where you really come from.
Well, I was born in Congo. I was born and raised in Congo. I came in this country when I was about 11 years old.
That's very young.
Yeah, very young. So I came here with my mum and dad and my older siblings.
So, growing up, tell us a little bit. What were you like? What were you interested in?
Well, growing up as a young kid, I remember in Africa, I used to love music a lot. I used to love music. I always, because obviously my dad was part of the music as well. So so he used to play music all the time. So growing up, obviously I got introduced to music. So it was one of the things that I always loved the most, really.
We can hear the American accent, isn't it? But yet he grew up here in London. So
too much movie.
Too much movie, American movie. Watch English movie now.
I try to.
That's good. So you're a worship leader.
Yeah, I'm a worship leader. Yeah.
You're a singer.
Yeah.
And you're also a writer.
A writer, yeah.
Which one did you start first?
A singer, basically. Yeah.
Ooh. So are there any member like in your family that have a background in music?
Nobody that I can remember. The only person I can remember is my dad, because he used to love music a lot. He used to play music like from morning to night.
So you just started to get in the beat of it.
Get into it, yeah.
So what was your favorite song during the time?
Man, I'll say Luambo, because my dad used to love Luambo a lot.
That every parent loved that artist till this day. So that got you inspired into music?
Music, basically, yeah.
So, okay, into music. And did you go into choir? Did you pursue it further? Or was it just...
Basically, it was just a passion. Obviously back then I wasn't a Christian, so it was just a passion. I wanted to get into secular music.
Okay.
Before I was a Christian, then my dad didn't want me to, obviously because of, like Illuminati's, all these things, so they didn't want me to get into these things. So obviously then when I came in this country, then when I became a Christian, so that's when I pursued it.
But did you think if you pursued it back home, you would have probably get further?
Yeah, basically, I think so, yeah. Obviously because there is a lot of different talented people down there as well. So, and the platform they're easy to get down there as well, so.
So did you have no coach at all? Nobody to coach you, lead you?
Nah, nobody to coach me really, apart from myself.
That's good. Before we go any further, I would like the people, Mr. Emir behind the camera for me, to play a video of Mr. Mario. But before that, let's just go back a little bit back. So you said music, you do music?
Yeah.
So which song did you first develop?
I did a lot of different songs, but my first song was a song about Africa. I wrote it with one of my friends, but we didn't release it.
Can you sing it for us?
I never can remember the lyrics.
Give us a little bit.
I can do just a little snippet, just a little rap. It goes like this: lay back and think about previous life. Every African lived their struggle lives. Reminiscing is the day that every I can't remember the lyrics properly. I can't remember the lyrics.
So what age were you when you first created that?
Probably around 18.
Around 18?
Yeah, if I can remember, yeah.
So a big man now. So you can see the suit don't fool you. He's a big man
I'm trying,
now.
man, I'm trying.
So, tell us a little bit, because you've written a book called The Purpose of a Christian Life. So, tell us a little bit, just a little bit, before we go forward and watch a little clip of your single. Tell us a little bit, introduction, just about the book of The Purpose of a Christian.
Well, a book called The Purpose of Existence.
Oh, The Purpose of Existence.
That's right.
Oh, apology for that.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about the book.
Well, the book technically is about me just struggling with a lot of different things in my mind, a lot of deceptions, a lot of basically just a lot of low self-esteem. So obviously during that time we're just struggling, trying to understand who I am. And I mean, and just always asking God a lot of questions and listening to a lot of different messages. So that's how the book came about. And the book is basically about like just me explaining how I grew up, the things that I struggled with, you know what I mean, and also trying to discover the existence of a humankind, why we are created, or why we're here, how we are made, what's the process of it, who made us, who is God. So that's what the book is about. Yeah. Wow.
So we're gonna have a look at one of the video of Mr. Mario, and afterward we'll go further about his book. See you soon.
I was lost, you came and rescued me. You reached out on me, you had compassion on me. Lord, you drew me close to you. Lord, my love grows for you. You know everything that I've done. How can a sinful man deserve your love? But you came and captured me. But you came and set me free. There is a new song in my heart that I want to express to you, to say thank you, Lord, for you rescued me. When I was lost, Lord, you found me. When I was down, you picked me up. You gave me the strength that I stand on higher ground as I worship you. Every day, every day, every day. Now me and your family, when Jesus died for me, that I may receive you in your fullness, oh God. And now you're leading me as I pray on my knees to reach your kingdom in the heavens so low. There's so much peace in me, for you came and rescued me.
Welcome back, guys, to the Voice of Reason. We are here today with Mr. Mario on the platform, also known as Mr. Clevis. Earlier on, we were just getting a short introduction about him, of who he is and where he come from. And before we went on to watch one of his music video, we were just discussing a bit about his book that is coming soon. Hello, Mr. Mario. I'll call you Mr. Mario because I like the name Mario. So this video that you did, what year did it come out?
2013, as long as I can remember, yeah.
What inspired you to write that song?
Man, it was just I was going through some situation in my life where I just didn't wanna listen to anybody. I just wanted God to speak to me myself. So it was through the process. That's why I wrote a song. Yeah, that's why you can even hear in the chorus it said, "When I was lost, Lord, you found me. When I was down, you picked me up, and you gave me the strength to stand on higher ground." So because I was feeling so low during that time. So that's when I wrote it. Yeah.
It seems like as you're talking about it, you're so passionate, and it seems like you've had let's say a tough journey So even your book, the introduction you gave, it was about finding yourself.
Yeah.
So the book is it about you, or is it about, what is it about?
The book is about me, and about questioning a lot of different things, questioning the existence of God, questioning the existence of mankind, questioning the message of Jesus, questioning a lot of different things that obviously, you know, that I hear in our societies. Like, for example, things like revolution, all these things. Yeah.
Okay. When writing this, what was your aim?
My aim was to help the youth to discover the reason for the existence, to discover why they're here and what the power they have, the potential they got, you know, the power that God has given every single one of us, and you know, and a lot of things that we can do out of that. So that was my purpose.
You're so passionate about God. If I can ask you, can you give us a little bit of just a little bit of testimony of where you came from, especially of like how you found yourself into questioning why you were created and finding yourself? How did it all start?
Well, it started when I was a young kid. Obviously, growing up, I had a lot of friends, and obviously during the process, I had a lot of different people that, you know, that were just, because I'm a smiley person, I'm a joyful person, so I love people. But sometimes, you know, when you love people, people don't really love you back. So then they start calling me a lot of different names. And it got to the point where one of my friends actually said to me that my mom should have given a birth to a dog instead of me. So obviously, growing up as a young kid, you know how words can eat you bad. So I grew up with that pain, growing up till about when I reached around 25. So it was, I was literally crying every single day.
So you were trying to find yourself of who you are.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's people that, you know, when they say finding themselves, some are just trying to find out their identity, and some is finding out their roots. So which one were you finding?
I was trying to find my identity. Like who I am. Am I a dog, or am I a human being?
But what were you doing that for you to question yourself? Am I a dog or am I a human being? Because, you know, the viewers are watching right now, they can be like, you're a human being. How could you, you know, think about questioning yourself, am I a dog? Were you in a messy lifestyle? What was it?
No, I wasn't in a messy lifestyle, really. It was just like, because I was crying every single day. Like, what I mean, every single moment I was crying. I'll go back to school, come back, I will cry by myself, like, because these words was keep on playing back in my mind. You know what I mean? It was like, obviously during that time, things wasn't going well as well. So you're just thinking, okay, maybe what they're saying is who I am.
But when you say things wasn't going well, what exactly wasn't going well? Because we all have, you know, sometimes, you know, your family area, things are not going well. What exactly was it that wasn't going well?
Family area.
Yeah,
family area. You know, my mom and dad had a lot of things going on. So obviously during that time, I'm a young kid trying to ask questions like, yeah, what's going on? And I mean, I used to ask myself questions like, why can we just be happy like any other family that I see on the street? And I mean, so all these things were just eating me up. You know what I mean? Then I used to say to myself, if I had the power to change it, I can do that. I can change it, but at the same time, we still struggling to discover who I am.
That's certainly, I think this is really good because, you know, there's many of us, especially young people, especially our generation, there's many that are trying to find themselves, and they try certain things to try and find themselves. Some put on masks, some, you know, give themselves into a certain circular group, some, you know, there's many things. But how did you know? Because for you to write this book, it means that you've discovered yourself.
Definitely, yeah.
So what was the process?
Man, it took me, the process wasn't easy. It was really a tough one because it demanded me a lot of sacrifice. Like I had to read a lot of different things. I had to read a lot of different books, listen to different preachers. I had to, you know, like literally abandon myself in the presence of God. You know what I mean, to ask God, what is my purpose? Like, why did you create me?
Stating this word, abandoning myself in the presence of God. Our viewers, some of them are not Christian. So, what does it mean to abandon yourself in the presence of God? Because as easy as it sounds, it's not that easy. I'm a Christian myself. So can you explain to us, what does it mean to abandon yourself in the presence of God?
To abandon yourself simply means that you have to give all, like 100% in. 100%. I'm not talking about not 99%. I'm talking about 100% that, obviously according to the Bible says that, if you seek me, diligently with all your heart, I will reveal yourself. I will definitely reveal myself to you. So obviously that's just not talking about, you seek the Lord today, tomorrow, you go about doing your own business. I'm talking about completely surrendering. Completely surrender to God. Say, God, I'm not living until you show me who I am. So that was that was the process where I was. You know what I mean? Because I used to go to bed 4 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. I wake up early, 4, I pray till 8. You know what I mean? Because I was so eager to know why am I created. Like, am I who they say I am, or am I your son? So that was the process.
Who was there to lead you? If I can say, guide you. Before even that, let's go back. What inspired you to go to God? Because our generation, there's many, they know God, but they don't go to God, and they don't try to find themselves through God. So what attracted you to God?
Well, only 2 things attracted me to God: to discover who I am and what's my purpose. That's the only 2 things that attracted me to Jesus. Because I tried, obviously before I became a Christian, I was in a religion called Kimbangista.
Yes.
So I was in a religion. My whole family is not in that religion. So obviously growing up in a religion, I didn't know. Obviously you're going to something that because your family are going to. So that's where I was. And what attracted me to discover my purpose and who I am.
And at what age did you?
I became a Christian at the age of 17. Yeah, 17 getting into 18, yeah.
That's very young.
Very young.
At that age, we all know, we're all wild at that time. Some.
Very young.
We're all wild at that time.
Yeah.
And when then you found God, was it easy letting go of everything?
I don't know about anybody else, but with me, it wasn't easy at first. Obviously, because I got baptized twice. Obviously, the first time I got baptized, kind of felt like I was. And then I just got.
But did you understand what you were doing?
Nah, I didn't understand. Obviously, the only reason why I done it because my family was doing it. Because basically the whole brother and sister was getting baptized. I thought, okay, let's just jump into it. But then when I done it, it felt like I got worse. I didn't feel any change until one time I got at home. And I said to God, if you don't reveal yourself to me, it's better for you to kill me.
That's the hotline. That's the hotline. We all go through that. That's the hotline. And that is a strong word to say.
Strong
and
word.
So through that process, you've decided to put into writing. That's touchy, and that's really brilliant, because as many of young people I've seen, there's not as much that have taken their experience to write it into a book. Now, tell us a line or a little bit, like an overview of a chapter in your book.
One of my favorite writings about when I was writing about me. Obviously, I had to be vulnerable. Like, what I mean vulnerable, I had to literally pour out a lot of things that was in my heart, a lot of pain that I was carrying, and brokenness and agony. I had to put everything on paper. But obviously, once I started editing it, then my fiance was just like, some of these things you need to pull it out because you don't want everybody to know, literally everything. So I took some of the things about, obviously the most important one, I left it out.
So you wrote, finding yourself basically. But are you just writing about is it just specifically on yourself, or is it because you said it's for other people to also discover their purpose?
Yeah.
But okay, let me rephrase this question. What type of Christian will be able to identify themselves from your book? Because in the Christian, there's many different type of Christian.
That's right.
There are those that one leg in, one leg
leg
out.
out.
There are those that, you know, as the Bible says, is to the tabernacle there were stages. There was 3 stages. There are those that are just at the door, and then there's those that are the second stages, but they just stood there. And there's those that are trying to force themselves right in there. So which one, how would they be able?
It only starts from anger.
Okay.
That's what I would say. Obviously, my main is this book is not just mainly for just Christians, but my really main tag is for the world.
Okay, but what type of Christian would be able to identify themselves through it?
But those are still struggling with the same questions. Obviously, the same question of the identity. You know, these type of questions that I'm really targeting. You know, those are still asking questions like, okay, God, you know, if you're all powerful, you're almighty, how come we're still suffering? You know what I mean? How come, you know, there is still bad people in the world, a lot of different things, you know, these are the people that I'm actually targeting to, because that's the same process that I went through. And because obviously evangelizing in the street, you get a lot of different questions that people was asking you. Then it was just like, I remember one time I was evangelizing in the street when one of the guys asked me, I was like, okay, can you explain to me the existence of God? If God exists, how come there is bad? How people are suffering? How the young people are dying? I couldn't answer him. So that was obviously that, you know, that's where I thought to myself, okay, let me pull back a bit. Let me seek first. God, I need all these questions to be answered.
But do you think you've covered in your book, you've covered all the questions that a person who's trying to find identity would ask?
Definitely, yeah.
What makes you reassure? Because let's you need to give us so that we can want more.
Definitely. I cover a lot of questions, but obviously not just. I'm not talking about just basic questions. I'm talking about the most, like, I'm talking about the deepest questions. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like, there are a lot of questions now that they're questioning the Bible. They're thinking that the Bible is written by men. So these are the questions that I'm actually, that I actually tackle the most. Like these type of questions, like why man is created, why we here. Like I also talked about heaven and earth. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people are thinking now we're gonna be in heaven forever, but that's not technically true.
But you've combined in now identity and heaven and earth.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to combine those two together? Because you could have just stayed in just finding your identity.
Yeah. Because basically the reason why I combined it too, because this earth plays a major part in our lives, but we don't even know it. It plays a big part in our life because obviously this is the territory that God has given us.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it plays a major part. We don't even have no idea, but obviously because we're too quick in going to heaven, so that's why we don't really think about it too much.
Thank you for that. So when will the book be out? So for all of us to.
The book should be out hopefully by next month. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to sort a couple of things at the moment, but definitely by next month it should completely be out. Yeah. And
where will you be selling it so we can have heads up, and how much?
I'll be selling it Amazon, iTunes, all the bookstores, all the major bookstores. So that's what I'm gonna be selling it. Yeah.
That's very good. But a singer, a worshiper leader, an author. How do you combine the three together?
It's not easy, man. It takes a lot of sacrifice.
And how long did it take you to write that book? It must have taken you ages.
It took me a year and a half.
A year and a half?
A year and a half.
No support from anyone?
No support from anybody. I locked myself in my room. It caused me a lot of problems, even in my relationship. It was just like I completely blanked everybody so I can get this thing done. So yeah, it took me at least a year and a half. Yeah.
That's amazing. Let's now go back. How much is the book?
The book's gonna be about £10, but I'm still thinking about it. I'm still thinking about the price at the moment because there's a lot of information that I've covered there. So it took me a lot of time.
Tell us. You keep saying this. There's a lot of information. Tell us. Let's start noting that. I'm gonna start noting that. So you covered identity.
I covered identity.
Heaven and earth.
I covered heaven and earth. I covered the mess. Obviously, what was the message of Jesus? I covered the process of a human being, how we are created. And I also covered about the manufacturer, which is God,
Okay.
who he is, and how he operates.
And that way you think the way you've categorized, that word is so hard to pronounce. The way you've structured it,
yeah.
Do you think that way will help a person actually to identify themselves?
Yeah, definitely. That's
another wise question.
Yeah.
Is it for them to identify themselves in Christ or for them to identify themselves in life?
It's both sides, in Christ and in life.
That's a bit tricky. That's a bit tricky because a Christian, a pastor could say, but there's no life without Christ, and we've always heard it. But then, how did you manage to do?
Obviously, because in life, obviously, the reason why I say in life, because obviously that it's like you might not even be a Christian, but you're still struggling with the same question.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So obviously that's why I said, because a lot of people, like let's say for example like the youth that those that are not, let's say non-believers.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Even though they're not Christian, but they're still struggling with the same questions like, who am I? You know what I mean?
But then if I were to ask you now, who are you? Right now, what would you say?
I would definitely say I'm a son of God.
What makes you a son of God?
What makes it son of God? Because I'm mad. Because I've okay, here
Right, let's go. We need to find out.
Here is what makes me a son of God, because I've discovered that I was already in heaven. I was already created before I was manifested in this planet.
Well, back it up.
Because obviously I read, obviously the Bible says that Jesus is that big brother. He's the firstborn of God.
Yes.
So if it's our big brother, that means we were already born. So that means, but the only problem was we were in God. So we already existed before the foundation of the planet.
I can't wait to get a hold of this book. I can't wait to get the hold of this book. So, what would you say to a person right now who's watching us and they're trying to find themselves? They're in that atmosphere of depression, of down, low self-esteem. Family is not well. Let's say probably family is well, but still don't know who they are. What would you say to them right now? They're watching you.
What I would say to them is that obviously you have to, you have to really have an hunger. Have an hunger to discover yourself. Have an hunger to ask a bunch of questions. Have an hunger to know why, the reason why you're here. You know what I mean? And trying to discover your purpose. But what I would say is that trying to ask different questions to different people. If you're a Christian, ask your pastors questions. Ask anybody that you can ask. You know what I mean? Find a lot of different information. You have to read a lot. But most importantly, you have to go to the manufacturer of the human being, the person who created the whole thing. He knows the reason why. Because to discover the reason of a product, you don't go to people that sell it. You know what I mean? You have to go to the person who created it. He's the only person that will be able to tell you why this thing is created. So my number one thing I would say, you need to go back to the Creator, which is God, and ask Him the reason why you were created, and it will definitely reveal it to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clovis. I feel so weird calling him this name. I was always calling you Clever.
Clever, yeah, that's my real name.
And then Clovis, Clever, Mario. He has all these names. We just throw every name at him. So how do people that are watching you right now get in contact with you?
Well, you can either contact me on Facebook, which is Claver Lukoki. You know what I mean? So you will definitely get me there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to Mr. Mario to come on the platform. And I believe it's this show and this opportunity to have you on the platform has inspired others who are watching. Although time is not on our side, we could have gone deeper. But I think by them getting the opportunity to get hold of this book, I'm speaking to you who right now you're struggling to find your identity. You're in the church right now, you go to church every Sunday, but still you don't know who you are. You may be also in church, you have a gift, you sing, you play instruments, you are able to help, you have a role in the church, but you still don't know who you are. I would suggest to you right now, get hold of this book. I believe it's going to help somebody. It's going to inspire someone and change someone's life. And if you have furthermore question, my Facebook is always there, Rebecca Angelique. My Instagram, 24angel, and my Snapchat, Angelique24M. I'm always there to support you. The team, as the Boss Brother, is here to help the younger generation. Not only the younger generation, but also the adult. We believe problem doesn't pick an age. It can pick you, an adult, a young person. It doesn't matter. But there are people to help you. The Voice of Reason is here on the platform is ready for you, who is ready to inspire the young people. Until we see you next time, bye-bye.